Any particular reason that New Zealand is being so consistent in the last 2 years?
I think it comes down to, firstly, our team culture. It's all about giving to each other and a cause that's bigger than our own. And then I think it also comes down to the boys sticking to their processes individually. We obviously have a lot of trust in each other and we all play our games differently. And I think when we go out in the middle, we trust our mate next to us to be able to do what they train to do. You know, they put in the work and they trust me to put in my work. And from there, we go out there and I guess can build that relationship on the field and to be able to give to each other no matter what. I guess that builds a great team environment. And then, you know, cricket's obviously a funny game. The results sometimes don't go your way, but I think we've created a nice sort of consistent platform for us to build from.
I'm just saying jokingly, any particular glue stick you use because you are taking some amazing catches? Is it hard work? Is it reflexes? What is that?
I think a great deal of luck comes involved. You know, I wish I could say that I've got a special little glue tag that I use, but unfortunately that's not the case. If anything, my palms are more sweaty than anything else. So, yeah, you know, it's obviously comes down to a lot of hard work and doing the basics as much as I can, and then sometimes luck just plays a good part in it.
Glenn, just want to ask that, were there any discussions when you guys are watching the India games here? Do you have any kind of communications about the wicket, about the combinations India were going with, you know, 3 spinners and the pacers? You guys were, you know, backing 3 pacers. So can you talk us through that and any concerns on Kane Williamson? I know that he's a very big player, but hasn't scored yet.
Did you watch the Tri-Series?
No, just overall this.
Then there's your point. Obviously, he scored 130 odd not out there, and he scored 60, and then he scored a 40 odd. So I don't think he's a problem. But in terms of scouting and things going on, we obviously have our game plans that we have coming up against India. You know, they're an incredibly strong side, and they pretty much have all their bases covered. So for us, I guess it's about looking at the pitches and the results that have just gone by recently. Obviously, it's playing a little bit slow, and there's obviously a good deal of turns. So I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. You know, they've got 3 quality spinners, and I guess for us, we obviously have a lot of all-rounders as well as our top bowling lineup. So we do have a lot of bases covered, regardless of the situation that we're going to be facing against.
Ever since Mike Atherton and Nasser Hussain's podcast went viral, there's been a lot of talk about India having an unfair advantage due to being in one venue. You yourselves have flown from Pakistan to here. Has there been any talk about this in the dressing room? I mean, are you focusing on that at all? What are your thoughts on it?
No, for us, there's no focus on anything like that. Obviously, a tournament draw is what it is, and you know we have a no excuses mindset to be able to come out to a tournament. You're dealt the hand that you're dealt, and you know the facts of the matter is India has been dealt that hand, and we've been dealt our hand, and you know we're never going to complain about what we get, and we'll just do the best with what we've got.
Is this seemingly inconsequential game gives like a catch-22 situation for the captains? Do you want to keep the momentum going on without changing the playing 11, or do you think that back-to-back matches, not too many days before the semi-final? How do you deal with that kind of situation as a captain?
Well, I guess if you look at rain being a factor in Pakistan at the moment, and no particular days for playing a game that's rained off. There is a reserve day. Oh, how good! You know, obviously finishing in the top spot goes with a great deal of confidence going into the semi-finals. But at the end of the day, we always in a tournament like this go out to win every game possible, and momentum is a strange thing in cricket, especially. So, you know, we're obviously going to go out there, play every ball as it comes, but put our best forward no matter what.
Glenn, Virat Kohli will be playing his 300th ODI tomorrow. Is he somebody that you've sort of admired over the years? Would you followed him?
Obviously, he's an incredible player. You know, and to know him a little bit personally myself is awesome. He's obviously an incredibly hard worker, and what he's done for the sport, but also for Indian cricket, and also people coming through the game as youngsters now is absolutely fantastic. And I think his legacy going forward will be remembered for a long time, inspiring a lot of people. And you know, 200 ODIs, that's a big feat, especially in today's age where one-day cricket isn't played as often as it used to be. So it's really cool for him.
So you guys have been playing in Pakistan, like the tri-series and the first 2 games of the league stages. So now those conditions were a bit different compared to the conditions over here, as you have mentioned in the, while answering a few of the other questions. So how important is that acclimatization process will be, because you guys haven't, this will be your first game on this pitch?
I think the beauty of Pakistan is every pitch we've played on has been significantly different to the last, and I think that's been great preparation for us coming over to Dubai, knowing that the pitch is going to be different again. We've had a lot of different situations. We've had balls that have spun, we've had surfaces that have been flat and fast, boundaries that are small. Obviously this ground presents itself with a different challenge of being potentially a little bit slower, more void of grass, and maybe a slightly slower outfield. So I think we pride ourselves on trying to be as adaptable as possible. It doesn't necessarily mean everything is foolproof and that we're always going to come out on top, but I feel like we've got a lot of bases covered, and as I said, we give to each other no matter what. So to be able to come to a new situation and a new environment, we rise up to the challenge, and we always fight no matter what.
Glenn, historically, New Zealand has had a good record against India in ICC tournaments, and I know it was a different format, but you were part of the team that won 3-0 in India. Does that sort of come into the picture at all in terms of when you discuss things from a confidence perspective going into a game like this?
Obviously, white ball cricket is, as you say, is a different format, and it does come down to a lot of who's in form at the right period of time, especially in world events like this. And I think obviously having a bit of success against India in the recent past definitely does give a little bit of confidence, but we come back to the things that we do well, sticking to our processes and making sure that each game is individualized for what it is. And I think that puts us in good stead going forward. Obviously, India are strong, and we've come in off some good form at the moment. So I think the recent form is potentially a little bit more of a confidence builder as opposed to what happened sort of a couple of months ago. But we've trained hard, we've worked well, and everyone's about as ready as they can be.
Glenn, of all the teams, New Zealand have countered the Indian spinners the best of late. I mean, in the Test series, the way the batters took the attack to the opposition and in a way upset the rhythm of the Indian spinners. Do you agree that calculated aggression is the best way to counter the Indian spinners?
I think in Test cricket it definitely was. When it came to situations where we were playing on pitches that were turning significantly, to be able to, I guess, score runs, it was more of a runs game and as opposed to a matter of time. Other countries you can potentially outlast teams, but in that situation, that series we played, it was very much around runs in a quick fashion, and hopefully enough of them was going to be the case. I think in white ball cricket it does change a little bit. With there obviously only being 50 overs, the game plans slightly change to be able to, I guess, counteract situations of the game. The middle phase is obviously very crucial in the way Tom Latham and Will Young did it against Pakistan, and then obviously Tom and Ratchin in the last game against Bangladesh during a tricky period was fantastic, and I think that's probably crucial going into this one with the quality of the Indian spinners is going to be about how can we rotate strike, how can we take the game deep and be able to give ourselves a chance to, I guess, launch an attack at the death, and if we do bat first, put a competitive score on the board, and obviously if we're chasing, that becomes really crucial to limit those dot balls in the middle overs with how good their spinners are. Obviously it's not an easy task, they are fantastic spinners, but we've all got our individual plans, and hopefully we can go out there and execute them.
Glenn, given the condition, do you think you should be better prepared as a bowler than batsman here? And secondly, the reason New Zealand could be doing very well because there is so little competition for the spots. Not 5 or 6 players could be competing for one spot. There is a lot of sense of security. Maybe that is bringing the best out of the players. Unlike in India, I say, there are so many players competing for so many spots.
Your first question was, sorry? Sorry, one at a time.
You should be better prepared as a bowler, you think?
Do we need to be more prepared as bowlers?
In the conditions.
In the conditions. Yeah, I think it definitely does come down to the execution phase, especially on pitches like this. We've got 2 really good spinners, and then obviously all-rounders and myself and Ratchin to be able to